They had achieved the impossible. They had avenged their master, and now they marched to face their own deaths. For in the world of the samurai, the price of perfect loyalty was absolute sacrifice. This is the true story of the 47 Ronin. Our story begins in 1701 in Edo, the capital of the Tokugawa Shogunate. Japan was a land at peace, but it was a peace kept by 1,000 strict rules. The shogun was the absolute ruler, and his castle was the center of power. Here, a daimyo's. Every word, every bow, every gesture was scrutinized. A single mistake, a single breach of protocol, could mean dishonor and ruin. It was a world of beautiful, deadly ceremony. 2 lords were chosen to arrange a reception for the emperor's envoys, the young and honorable Lord Asano, and the powerful, corrupt official, Lord Kira. Kira was meant to instruct Asano in the complex court etiquette, but he was a greedy man and demanded lavish gifts for his lessons. When Asano refused to pay the bribes, Kira publicly insulted him, calling him an ignorant country fool who knew nothing of manners. To a samurai, public humiliation was a wound deeper than any sword. Cut. His patience finally shattered. Lord Asano committed the ultimate crime. He drew his blade within the sacred walls of the shogun's castle and attacked Lord Kira. Though the wound was minor, the act was unforgivable. Violence of any kind was forbidden in the shogun's presence. Asano's rage had sealed his fate and the fate of his entire clan. The judgment of the shogun was swift and absolute. For his crime, Lord Asano was sentenced to death by his own hand. He was forced to commit seppuku. His lands were confiscated, his family was disowned, and his samurai retainers were ordered to disband. They were now Ronin masterless, disgraced wanderers in a society that valued loyalty above all else. Their world had been destroyed, but their loyalty did not die with their master. Led by the wise and patient chamberlain, Oishi Kuranasuke, a core group of 47 samurai met in secret. They swore a blood oath. They would not allow their lord's honor to remain stained. They would bide their time, wait for their enemy to drop his guard, and then they would take Lord Kira's head. They knew it was a suicide mission, a direct defiance of the shogun's will, but their duty was clear. To succeed, they had to convince the world they had given up. Oishi played his part with painful dedication. He divorced his wife, abandoned his children, and became a notorious drunkard in the pleasure districts. He was publicly shamed, becoming a cautionary tale of a failed samurai. Spies sent by Lord Kira reported back that Oishi was a broken man, a pathetic drunkard who posed no threat. The ruse was working. For nearly 2 years, the 47 scattered across Japan, living as merchants, craftsmen, and monks. They were hiding in plain sight, secretly gathering weapons and information. One even married the daughter of the architect who built Kira's mansion to obtain a detailed blueprint of its defenses. They were a patient, silent network of spies, all waiting for a single word from their leader. Finally, the word came. In the dead of winter, on the 14th day of the 12th month, 1702, the 47 Ronin gathered in Edo. A heavy snow was falling, perfect for masking their approach. They donned their armor, unfurled their old lord's banner, and began their silent march to Lord Kira's mansion. 2 years of shame and waiting were about to end. They divided into 2 groups. One, led by Oishi, would attack the front gate. The other would attack from the rear. At the sound of a war drum, they struck simultaneously. They had sent a message ahead to the neighbors, explaining that they were not robbers, but warriors on a mission of vengeance. The attack was a masterclass in samurai warfare, swift, brutal, and perfectly executed. After a fierce battle, Kira's guards were defeated, but Kira himself was nowhere to be found. The Ronin searched the house, finally finding him hidden in a storage shed, a coward cowering among the firewood. Oishi respectfully identified him and offered him the chance to die honorably with the same blade his master had used. When the terrified Kira refused, Oishi took his head. Their mission was complete. They extinguished all the fires in the mansion, ensuring no harm came to the neighbors, and began their final march. They carried Lord Kira's head across the city to the Sangakuji Temple, the burial site of their master, Lord Asano. As dawn broke, the people of Edo lined the streets, not to condemn them, but to praise them. They understood that the Ronin had upheld the highest principles of honor. After laying Kira's head on their master's grave, the Ronin peacefully surrendered to the authorities. The shogun was faced with a terrible dilemma. The Ronin had acted according to the code of Bushido, but they had also defied his direct authority. After much debate, the verdict was delivered. They were not to be executed as common criminals. They would be allowed to die with honor. All 46 were ordered to commit seppuku. They were buried with their master at the Sangakuji Temple, and their graves immediately became a site of pilgrimage. To the people of Japan, they were not criminals, but heroes. They had sacrificed everything, their families, their fortunes, and their lives for the sake of loyalty and honor. Their story became a kabuki play, a legend passed down through generations, a timeless example of the soul of the samurai. The story of the 47 Ronin is more than history. It is the embodiment of an ideal. It explores the conflict between personal loyalty and state law, between individual justice and societal order. It asks what honor truly means and what price one is willing to pay for it. For centuries, their tale has served as a powerful reminder that even in disgrace, the greatest honor can be found in unwavering loyalty to a just cause, no matter the final cost.